My grandmother, the way she gave me the ability to make clay figures is because she taught her daughters how to make clay figures. And that's the thing about Pueblo art and Pueblo women. We're very much always teaching, always trying to pass on our knowledge to the next person. These pieces are so dated and they're so a part of time. You know, I can't, that's why I purchased pieces of my aunt's in the 70s or early 80s. I really like the early 80s. Even my Auntie Alma's pieces have changed so much over the years. This piece would be stark white right now, a little fuller, fatter. For me, when I look at this piece and I know she did it such a long time ago, it just makes me really understand how important it is to appreciate like every moment, you know, because these moments will never come back. My aunts I've passed on, and I have another aunt that passed on that I still haven't found her piece. And I'm always looking for these. I have like different galleries, you know, looking out for their older pieces because I want them so badly because they were such a part of my childhood. Yeah. Okay, so my mother isn't represented here, which is a bummer because she's a huge part of my work, of course. As a child, of course, she would just hand me a glob of clay and I'd sit there and work with her. At the time, you don't think of it as work because you're a child and you're just making art or you're just having fun with your mom. But in fact, it laid these incredible foundations of knowledge that are embedded in you. You know, they're not a textbook. They're not something you go someplace to learn. It's such a part of your lifestyle and such a part of your everyday existence that this traditional knowledge is just embedded in you. This piece here is going to be a lady, of course. She's I really have no idea what exactly she's going to be doing. And a lot of times that's how I approach what I'm working on, primarily because if I really have a set piece, it's super stressful because the clay kind of wants to do what it wants to do sometimes, and if you don't give it that freedom, then you're stressed out. So all my pieces, I start from the bottom, and all the pieces kind of start with a pot, with a pinch pot form, and then I build from that pinch pot. I think it's just the way I was taught to make storytellers as a young person, and that muscle memory I think just stayed with me. So every time I start anything, like I'll demonstrate real quick, anything at all, I kind of just start with a pinch pot. So that's the basic thing you learn as a young potter in the Pueblo. You learn how to make a pinch pot. A lot of times native art is super serious. A lot of times native art is immersed in a history of turmoil and being mistreated and victimized, and it just goes on and on and on. And the reality is we are still super resilient and we're super happy people. I mean, yeah, of course there are quite a few issues that have to be addressed and we can't lose sight of that. But I mean, I myself am not super serious. So, and I am native, and so I can't deny that about me. I can't deny that I have this personality that doesn't coincide with the average stoic native perception of that people have of Native people. So when my pieces are embraced, it makes me really excited for a different perspective on Native people in general. I mean, because most people that know Native people, I mean, of course, it's just like any other personality. It runs the gamut. But we're not completely torn down and you know, beat up. And I mean, yeah, we have been historically, and we have a lot of fights, you know, in front of us and behind us and right now. But you know, when you think about it, we are people, and our personalities are all so different, and we have to kind of acknowledge all of that. So when I'm making the work, like for instance the work that Yale has in their exhibit, that piece is very light, and it brings this really great feeling of just this whimsical kind of joy to the room.